Hey guys, today's video is going to be another story time video, and this video is going to be about the time that I got arrested. Probably one of the scariest days of my life. I seriously thought that I was gonna go to jail and become someone's like wife over there or something. This is probably not something I should be proud of, but I just didn't know what else to like make the title. Start with our story time. So this story time was when I want to say I was 17, because I had been driving for maybe like 4 or 5 months. And I got my license when I was 16 and a half. So I was 17 and it was around 2:30. So the reason I know these times is because it was in between my high school and my cosmetology school. When I was in high school, I attended cosmetology school right after, so my class started at 3 o'clock. So we went to this nail place, my friend and I. We went to this nail place and we just started getting like a bunch of nail polishes and stuff because we were prepping for a hair show that we were going to do. So that day was supposed to be when we like make our model and stuff like that. So we had to get a bunch of like last minute stuff. We get to the nail place, and after we leave the nail place, we start taking off. I start driving, minding my own business, and all of a sudden I'm at a light. And I'm at the light for maybe about 2 minutes or so, and to my left I see a car driving super fast. So there was a Honda, a white Honda stopped, and then a Toyota, I think it was a Toyota, just came and just rear-ended that car. So me and my friend, we're literally just looking at each other like, did this just happen right now? What the heck is going on, you know? So the car kind of like made a turn, and as he did that, I kind of like swerved to the side, you know, because I almost got hit by the car. And I'm just telling my friend like, dude, we almost got hit by this freaking car driving like a maniac. So long story short, they start handling their business, and me and Paulina, you know, we were at a red light, so the light turns green, and you know, we keep going, we go straight. Then all of a sudden, to my left, coming from the other direction, I see this car. I'm not even sure what kind of car it was, but there was 3 guys and 1 girl in the vehicle. And they make a U-turn, and then they get behind me, and they're like trying to get my attention, and they're like, pull over, and I'm just like, if somebody tells you to pull over, you're not just gonna pull over. Usually if you have like a flat tire or something, people just like signal you like, hey, flat tire, or you know, something. They don't just say pull over, or at least I wouldn't just pull over. That'd be like a random thing to do. So I'm driving, I'm like ignoring these people, minding my own business. I'm like, I'm not about to pull over, and then all of a sudden they start cursing at me, and they're like, you effing B, get the F out the car, pull over, and they're just like going crazy. Like, I'm telling you, they're honking, and they're just going nuts. You know, like I've mentioned many times before, I live in Stockton, so even people from here, they're like, it's not that bad, but it is bad. The crime out here is really bad. It's really dangerous to be out, and at least be out at night or be at the wrong place at the wrong time, because you know, things do happen out here. So if you ever hear when the people are like, it's not horribly bad, I mean, it's not like so bad like you're not gonna walk out and get shot, but it's pretty bad. You know, you have to watch where you're, what areas you're at, and you know, avoid certain areas. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. But the reason I say it's because I was freaking out. I was so scared. I was like, obviously these people are up to no good. They're trying to like stop me for no reason. They see 2 girls. There's 3 guys in there. Of course I'm not just gonna like pull over to the side. So I'm driving, I'm like minding my own business. I'm just like, ignore them, they're tripping. I don't know, like, I don't even know why I didn't think like call the cops or like call my brother or something. Like, I didn't think of any of that. Like, it was all happening just so fast that I was just trying to like lose them and get, you know, as far away possible from them. So I get on the turning lane, and it's the left lane, and I'm the first car, and I have about 4 cars behind me, and they're probably like the 5th car. So the 5th car, all of a sudden, like, I'm seeing like through my rearview mirror, you know, everything that's going around. I'm like, come on, light, turn green, what the hell? Like, I'm freaking out. Like, you can just imagine how paranoid I am right now. As it is, I'm like scared of life. I am terrified of everything. So you could just imagine me freaking out. My hands were shaking. I was just like thinking of every single worst case scenario on why these people were following me. You know, I'm not just gonna get off and be like, what's up? Why are you tripping? You know, like, there's 3 dudes in there. Like, I'm not trying to get freaking kidnapped. I don't know. So the guy that was driving, and then the guy in the passenger seat get off the car and start coming towards my car. So I'm like looking in the rearview mirror, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, are they coming towards my car or what's going on? Like, I was just like, seriously, this is all happening like in a period of like 3 minutes, you know? So I'm like thinking every single worst thing in my head. I'm like, I'm about to die, I'm about to get murdered, what is going on, why are they coming towards my car? I'm freaking out like no other. So then as he's getting closer to my car, he pulls out like a black object and just aims it towards my car, okay, like directly towards my car. So my friend's freaking out, I'm freaking out, I'm like, oh my god. My friend's like, oh my god, he has a gun, dude, he has a fucking gun, excuse my language. And then I was like, what? Like, I mean, things like that happen here, you know? So I was like, what? I literally, like, I'm like driving, right? So I made myself like go down. I was like this, and then I'm like bending as much as I can, and all I do is step on the gas so fast, like, go, like, get the hell out of here, like, you better run, you know, you better not even run, you better just take off right now. So while she's like screaming and I'm like panicking, so I don't think I actually was the first car, I think I was the second car, because I couldn't go straight, so I had to switch lanes and just take off. So I basically switched lanes, and I went from being completely stopped, like legit, I went from 0 to 100 real quick. Like, I was just like, pew! Like, I sped off, okay? And I was just panicking, I was shaking, I was like, oh my god. So as I'm passing the lights, I obviously didn't realize that the light was red and there was incoming traffic coming. So I hit head-on collision to a car that's coming straight at me. The reason they were coming straight at me is because they were turning. So while they were turning, I was going, and we literally just hit head-on. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in a car accident, but when the airbags deploy, you feel like you're on fire. Like, it throws like this powder at your face, and you just feel like you're burning, like you're just like you're getting caught on fire, you know? So I remember clearly like being in that car and just being like, I am about to die right now. Like, I cannot believe that I just hit this car. Like, I didn't even know what was going on. Like, everything just kind of turned black, and my friend's screaming, and I'm freaking out, and cars are honking. Like, I literally hear everything in slow motion in my head. So when I feel like that on my body, like I feel like I'm burning, like I'm catching on fire, my car, for some reason, because I don't know if I was, because I went so fast, my car did not stop. Usually when you hit a car, like, you stop. And my car did not stop. It kept going. So we didn't, so after hitting the car, we went like down this little like levee ditch thing. I don't even know what you want to call it. It was like a small little ditch. We went straight down and hit a pole. And I get out of the car, I'm freaking out. My knees are scraped, like my knees are bleeding. I don't know, probably because I drive with my steering wheel, but it was like burns. Like, I had burns on my legs, and I literally ran out, tried to get my friend out. My friend was stuck, the door jammed, so she couldn't get out, and I'm like freaking out trying to like get this girl out. And all of a sudden I see the people that were following me, the guys, the 3 guys and the girl, and they're coming right at me, and they're like, you see what you caused, this is what you get, you effing B. Like, he would just call me like a B, a B, a B, you guys know what I'm saying, right? B-I-T-C-H. He was just like, you effing B, you effing B, you effing B. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, at that point, I think it was because everything was already just going on, and I was so pissed that I didn't even care. I like turned into the Incredible Hulk, and I was like, what the hell's your problem, dude? Like, why are you tripping? What did I do? Do you know me? Like, what? You know? And he was like, I saw you hit that car. And he was just saying something about me hitting some car, and me, like, that he saw me, and that my car, and that I'm gonna get it, and that I'm gonna get this and that, and I was just like, dude, you don't even know me, you know? So I'm like trying to get myself together. I'm trying to get my friend, and you know, the person that I hit is a freaking 80-year-old lady. And I'm just like, oh my god, like she's looking at me like, freaking crazy ass, why are you just, you know, running red lights? And I was just like, oh my god, like even just thinking about it right now, it's getting me like all hot because of the, like, I clearly remember everything. So I'm like calling the cops. I'm calling the cops, trying to figure out what the hell we're gonna do. But the cops were already called. I don't know if somebody like had called them. So the cops get there, and then the guy's looking at me, and then he was like, he's looking at me and my friend. He was like, who's the driver of this vehicle? And I was like, me. And then he was like, you're under arrest, blah, 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 blah. I was like, what? I'm under arrest? What? Like my blood dropped down to my feet, and I was like, did I kill this lady? Like, oh my god, like I'm like literally getting goosebumps, okay? Like I'm like getting chills right now just remembering this day. So I'm like, what? And then my friend's crying. She's like, no, you can't do this. Like I'm like, I didn't even know what was going on, you know? So I like put my hands back, and he arrests me. He puts me in the cop car, and I'm there for probably like 2 hours, no joke, in the cop car. And everybody's giving their statements, ambulances are coming, and the fire department's there, and I was like, I killed this lady. Like, I think I really killed this lady, and I'm gonna go to jail, and I'm gonna be in freaking prison for the rest of my life because I killed someone, you know? Like I said, I'm here thinking about the worst case scenario, like always. So I'm in the cop car, and I'm trying to tell the guy, like, my legs were on fire. Like, they were hurting so bad. And I told the cop, like, dude, like, well, I didn't say dude, but I was like, excuse me, my legs hurt. Like, they hurt really bad. I need you to get me, like, some medical attention. Like, I was begging him to get me some help because my legs felt like they were gonna fall off. And he was like, you need to keep quiet back there. Like, he was being so mean. Like, I was just back there like thinking to myself, like, how did I get here? How did I get to this place where like my sorry, my alarm went off. Like, how did I get to this point where my life or my voice is not being heard when I didn't even do anything, you know? So everybody's giving their statements and everything's happening, and I'm there just, you know, chilling. And prior to that, while I was calling the cops, I had called my boyfriend at the time. So then he shows up. He used to drive a motorcycle, so he shows up, and he's like speeding through the freaking lanes, and I just see him like coming through, like behind me, and he's like, where's Blanca, where's Blanca? And you know, everyone's like pointing, like she's right there in the cop car, and he's like trying to get at the window, and he's like, what happened, what's going on? And I start bawling. Like, I was crying and crying, and I was like, I don't know, you need to help me, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what to do. And I was just like, I didn't even call my mom or my dad. Like, I didn't call anybody in my family because I didn't want to scare any of them, because my family, just how I am, like, I'm the biggest paranoid person on the entire planet. My sisters and my brothers and my mom, my dad, they're like 100 million times worse. Like, they always just freak out about everything. So I was just like, I'm not even trying to get them, you know, scared. So that's the reason I ended up calling my boyfriend at the time before them or anything. And then he showed up. So he's like at the window, and then the officer's like, excuse me, sir, you need to back off my car. And then he was like, I'm just trying to talk to her, what happened? Like, he's like actually telling him like what the hell's going on. Like, he was so pissed, and he was like, you need to get her out of there, like what happened? And I was just looking at the cop like, save me. Please just tell me what's going on. Like, I was just so clueless, and those 2 hours felt like an eternity. Like, I was like, am I ever gonna get my chance? Like, are they ever gonna give me the chance to tell you my story, what happened? Like, I know there has to be, you can't just arrest me and take me in like that, you know? So we're just there parked in the cop car. I'm can't move, I can't do anything. I'm just, you know, freaking out. So then all I hear is in that little I don't even know what you call it, where they communicate with each other, little walkie-talkie, intercom, I don't even know what the hell they call it, but they're like having a conversation back and forth. And then the guy's like, Trans Am. I used to drive a Trans Am. I didn't even tell you guys what kind of car I was driving. It was a sports car, it was a Trans Am. So they were like, Trans Am vehicle, hit and run, something, like they were talking about I had done a hit and run. And then I was like in the back, I'm like listening, and I'm like, okay, I killed someone, I did a hit and run. Like, I was just like, they're accusing me for a whole shitload of things right now. So I'm talking to the guy, and I'm like, I didn't do a hit and run. He's like, keep quiet. And then I was like, sir, you need to listen to me. I was not involved in anything else. Why am I arrested? And he was like, if you don't keep quiet, I'm gonna take you in. Like, he was being the freaking worst person on the entire planet. I have never been treated like this in my life, like ever. Like, I just remember me being there. Like, imagine I'm 16 years old. I'm like so sheltered. My mom never lets me out, and I'm behind a cop car. Like, how did I end up here, you know? So then all I hear like 30 minutes later is this lady come and tell the guy, Trans Am was not involved in hit and run collision. So then I just look at him, and I was like, told you, like, it wasn't me, like, I wasn't there, I don't know what you guys are talking about. And then he's just looking at me like, shut the hell up, you crazy little girl, like, relax, you know? So then he gets off the car, comes to the back, and he takes me out of the cop car. He takes the handcuffs off of me, and my ex-boyfriend's there, and I'm like crying hysterically. I run, and I'm like bawling, and I'm just like, you know, crying and crying and crying. And I'm like, and then he was just like, what happened? And I was like, I don't know. I honestly don't know where any of this happened. I don't even know what happened. People were following me. I took a red light. I hit someone, and I was just like, you know, going crazy. So then the cop comes up to me, and then he was like, so this is what happened. The car that was following you thought you did a hit and run. Apparently there was a car that hit another car previously to this accident, and they took off, and they thought that you were the one taking off from the scene. So they were following you, trying to get your attention, so you could basically turn yourself in from the hit and run because they saw you. When I was stopped, that black object that they pointed at me was actually a phone, and they were trying to take a picture of my license plate. So I felt so stupid. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, all of that so they can capture a picture when they didn't even know, like, it wasn't even me, it wasn't even my car. And all of this happened because you guys wanted to get my attention, because you guys thought I was gonna do a hit and run. Like, they went above and beyond to try to be like good Samaritans and, you know, catch the bad guy when it wasn't even me, you know? So I'm looking at the girl, and I'm telling her, so I'm usually a reporter, not a reporter, I don't even know what they call them, but someone comes in, they take your statement, and you say like your side of the story. So I'm telling her, like, this is what happened. I thought he was following me. I took a red light. Like, I was scared. I was scared for my life, and they weren't being nice about it. They were calling me names. They were telling me to get the F out the car, calling me a, you know, BITCH, and I was just freaking out. And then the lady was like, it was all a misunderstanding. And then the cop was like, I'm sorry. Like, he apologized, and he was like, it's just protocol. You know, they thought they had said that you did a hit and run, so I have to arrest you. And I was just like looking at him like, really? You just traumatized me for life. And like, that sorry, you think sorry is gonna make me feel better? So then he's like, I'm so angry. Like, after I stopped crying, I'm just like boiling, like so pissed off. Like, and then on top of that, the people that were following me, they put them in on my statements, like my on the actual statement as witnesses. So I was like these people should get in trouble. These people should, like, no, like, this is not right, you know? So the cop, he's like, do you need me to get an ambulance for you? Do you feel okay? And I was like, really? Do I feel okay? After I was begging you to get me some help, like, no, I don't need an ambulance, I'm fine, you know? So then I ended up leaving. I went to the emergency room myself. So I go to the emergency room, and I see my friend as well, because my friend, I believe she like fractured her arm, and she was on a cast for a while because of how bad we hit. And then the lady that we hit actually at the hospital too, and I was, you know, in there, and I was trying to talk to the guy, like the husband of the lady that I hit. And I went up to him, and I was like, you know what, I'm sorry. And he was not trying to hear it. Like, he was like, you know, looking at me like I was freaking a maniac, you know? And he was just like, just save it, you know, like, I don't want your apology. And I was just like I felt so bad, you know, like, everything was just going so bad. And I was just like, I'm sorry. Like, there's like, I freaked out, you know? And it's like, it sucks because now looking back, I'm like, you know, you could have been smarter about the situation and not freaked out or whatever. But when you're in fear, you don't really think about stuff like that, you know? So a year passed and like everything was okay. The lady was okay. The lady that I hit, she was fine. I think she had to get surgery for a couple of things because of, you know, how bad I hit her. And my friend, you know, she was fine. They all got money from my insurance. But a year after that happened, in October again, because that happened in October, so October of the following year, I was at home and this guy comes to my house and he knocks on the door and then he gives me a white envelope and he's like, Blanca Garcia. And I was like, yeah. He was like, you have been served. And I was like, I've been served? I've been served? Why? What did I do now? You know? So I'm like, what did I do? You know? So I'm looking at the paperwork and the lady that I hit, she actually sued me. She sued me for damages, medical bills, trauma, like just a bunch of stuff. They sued me and I had to basically present myself in court, but because of the situation of how everything happened, my insurance presented themselves and they were the ones who took care of everything. And I believe my insurance paid her like $150,000 for everything. And at that point, my insurance went off the wall. I had an accident under my record for 7 years. I actually think it just came off. 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 22. Oh, that was a long time ago. So it came off when I was like 23. So I had an accident under my record. I couldn't get insurance under my name without it being like psycho expensive. So yeah, that's what happened. So they paid my insurance and then I was fine. Now, I mean, I feel like I'm a very good driver. I'm pretty cautious, you know, but I always get the, why are you snapping and driving? I think it's just more now, like this year, I just got really comfortable with like being on my phone and being stupid. So it's like, I get irritated sometimes when people tell me like, stop texting and driving, because I feel like at one point we're all doing it. But you guys are right, I shouldn't be doing that, especially because I'm so openly about it as far as like on Snapchat and like on my vlogs, and it's not a good thing to be showing online when people are watching me or whatever the case may be, you know? But as of now, like I hardly ever snap. Like you guys see me, I really rarely ever snap anymore while I'm driving or even just being on my phone. I'm just trying to be careful as much as I can, because the bad thing about it is that, you know, even though it was an accident, what happened, if I would have killed that lady or if anything like that would have happened, I could have easily been charged for involuntary manslaughter, you know? So it's like, it's always good to be cautious and, you know, be smart about it. You know, I feel like it had been such a long time that sometimes I forget that, you know, to be careful, because it was such a long time ago that I got into this car accident. But whenever I tell the story and I remember it, it kind of puts me back in my place. Like, girl, you need to relax. I had to talk to someone about my feelings and just open up, because I couldn't drive. I couldn't drive for, I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 months. Like I was literally having my boyfriend at the time drive me everywhere because I did not want to get back behind the wheel. Like I was just really scared and I was freaking out, and then like I would just kind of think, like put myself back in that place where I was, and I was just like freaking out. So that only made my anxiety go off the wall, because I was already, you know, a very anxious person as it is, and that just, you know, made it 100 million times worse. But after about 6 months, like I was fine and I was able to, you know, drive again and be good. And, you know, I did become a very cautious driver for that period of time, where I was just very, you know, aware of my surroundings. But like I said, because it was so long ago, sometimes you forget about that. But yeah, that was the end of my story. I hope you guys all enjoyed this story time. If you guys want any more story times, definitely give it a thumbs up. And yeah, let me know if you guys have ever been in a car accident in the comments below, and you know, kind of what happened with you guys. I would love to hear if any of you guys have experienced anything like this, because being in an accident is probably one of the worst feelings, you know, that I've ever experienced in my life. But yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys all so much for watching. Love you guys.